Hello.
Hello, what is up?
Not much. Not much. How you doing?
I'm fantastic.
That's
Can't.
awesome. Nope, nope. And if you could, it ain't worth it.
Yeah, some people be glad that I'm complaining. Other people won't
Mhm.
care, and only
Mhm.
a small percentage will be like, "Oh, what can we do about it?" But hey, it is what it is. But man, what you do this weekend?
This weekend, shit.
Yeah.
Nothing. My hair. Picked up my daughter from Jersey. My
Hmm.
hair. Working on my estate.
Oh,
That's
that's
about it.
dope.
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah.
Okay.
So, what you been doing? What you up to?
I mean, yesterday it was pretty much raining all day. I mean, I went to go pick up some online orders that, uh, got a nice old firearm and stuff. So,
Oh
really,
shit.
yeah, really excited about that,
Oh.
man. And just went to go get a bunch of a deal on some reams of paper,
Mhm.
and and then I just cooked, Really, today I just was had a lazy day because I'll be going hard working out all week, and it's like I'll be wanting to, I'll give myself some weekends to be like, all right, I'm not going to work out or go to the gym because there's no sense of trying to, kill yourself trying to work out every single day. It'd be like, but you got to give yourself some rest, some time, and that's
Yeah,
probably what I
I
did today.
relaxed on the gym this week.
Yeah, but I
I
mean,
was
I'm gonna be
feeling a
back
little
at it
stressed.
tomorrow. Aw,
No, just in general, just just feeling weighed. And I say, you know what, let me chill out so I don't overexert myself and end up with half my face working again. So I said, let me
oh,
chill out.
oh yeah, yeah, you definitely want that. Hey, yeah,
And
you
so,
definitely gotta listen to your body. I
yeah,
know
it
I'm
don't
back
take
at
much
it.
for my body to get upset. So I
Oh
have to
yeah,
listen.
yeah. Especially in this day and age. So
Mm-hmm.
man, freaking episode 25 of the One Fine podcast. So
Mm-hmm.
today's episode, should poly relationships be an option? So
Should it be
before
an
we get
option? Whew.
I think yeah, everybody should be free to be in whatever type of union works for them. But before
Mm-hmm.
we get into all of that, Azima, where can everyone find you?
Oh, you can find me on TikTok and Instagram as Azima the Only. That's Azima the Only. And you can find me on Facebook and YouTube as Ozidi Wellness and Fitness. That's Ozidi Wellness and Fitness. And where can we find you, Joe?
Yeah, so that is going to be all platforms: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, at Camp Jogo Fit. That's KampJogofit. And also subscribe to our channel at the Wine Fine Podcast on YouTube as well, so you can see or hear older episodes. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was pretty interesting to kind of talk about this subject because I actually came across this snippet of this video a while back, right?
Mm-hmm.
What caught my attention was the fact of what it said. Um, it said 45% of women are expected to be single and childless by the age of 2030 per recent projections. And this was by Evie, this site, Evie Magazine, that
Uh-huh.
mentioned this. But it was one of them Facebook reels of one of these guys podcasts talking about this as well, and I thought that was pretty interesting to say. I guess they would come up with this because they see a lot of these men talk about being passport bros and going to overseas to find their ideal mate, their wife and
Yeah.
everything,
Going to
and then
foreign countries,
yeah,
trying to
going
find
to
a submissive wife.
yeah, submissive. Why I can't. I'm starting to dislike that word submissive and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I guess because we've been just hearing it so much online. Like, would y'all shut up already? But
It's a repetitive
I
word, yeah.
we are at war out here, and y'all worried about this stuff. But
Yep.
then what kind of like put it in a perspective, was like, okay, well, we should probably like talk about this. Was this Ayana Van Sant clip when she was on the Breakfast Club talking
Mm-hmm.
about, oh, she doesn't do cheating or whatever. So I don't know if everybody got a chance to watch the video, but I'll be happy to play it right now just so we could kind of just listen to what she has to say. So, in the first portion of this show, we'll be kind of talking about, the male aspect of the poly relationship, but then in the second half, we're going to talk about the woman's aspect in the poly relationship, which is polyandry. So that should be pretty interesting. That we also have a show to reference if y'all haven't watched it already, which is Seeking Brother Husband. And
Brother husband.
you
Ooh.
know what? I can't wait till we get into that part of the show because I got a lot to say about that. But
Mm-hmm.
first, I'll go ahead and play the clip for Ayana, and I just just definitely want to get some feedback from anyone listening right now to whether you want to say if this is right, wrong, or do you agree with it, and we'll take it from there.
All right.
All right.
People who are into like the polygamy nowadays, those relationships where
Well, see, I'm old, so I could do polygamy. I would just want her to be younger so he don't have to be bothering me all the time. Go over there. She's 42. I'm 70. Go on, take your butt on over there.
you can do that?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay.
You know what?
You jokingly serious? What do you think the benefits could
I'm
be?
very serious.
Really?
Yeah, I could do that. Mm-hmm. When I was younger, I couldn't because I didn't know who I was. Mm-hmm. And I didn't understand the value and the purpose of a relationship. So when I was younger, I didn't do cheating. But I could do polygamy. I could be one of other wives in this day and age. Mm-hmm. Really? I couldn't have done that when I was 30 or 40. I didn't. Mm-hmm. I ended up marrying a man who was a polygamist. My second husband came out of a polygamous relationship. And at that time I thought, you're cheating. I still don't do cheating. Mm-hmm. If we're going to do that, it has to be an open conversation and agreement. But you sneaking around the corner with, Chris D'Amata, no, I don't do cheating. Because you know why? It's dishonest.
I agree.
And if you're going to lie to me, then I can't trust you. Mm-hmm. But if we sit down and this is what we want to do, I like it because you be over there sometime, I'll be over here, I don't have to cook, I save my toilet paper, you don't have to use my toothpaste, go on, have you. And I don't think we can tell people who they can and cannot love. If I love you and you're saying this is what you need to support, satisfy yourself, why would I say no to that? Because I know who I am as a woman. And I don't know if it's possible for one person to satisfy every need another person has. And if the other person is willing to say, well, this is what you give me, I'm willing to set, that's fine. But if we're together and I'm not living up to everything you need, and that's what you need to take care of yourself. I know most Western women are hearing me now and they are like, she done lost her rabbit.
Oh yeah, they ain't ready for this conversation. You give it
No,
this
but it's true.
I'm about to subscribe to the hotspot.
Oh man. So yes, Miss Alana, excuse me.
Ain't she the same one that said, you gotta accept my crazy?
I believe so.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
she definitely be going in on people.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I thought she was pretty hilarious.
Well, I mean, she's trying to be as honest as possible, but it
Yeah,
still sounds like she's a little hesitant on the idea of that type of relationship as well.
I guess
That's what I got out of it.
maybe it's just baby steps. Maybe I
Yeah.
guess she has to convince herself that she'll be okay with it, and then
Mm-hmm.
just take it from there. I
Because
don't
I'm
know.
already convinced I'm not okay with it. I'm willing to listen. and understand. But me personally, I'll stab your leg if I find out.
Oh no, violence! Careful.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
I that's not something I would tolerate. That's not a
Wow.
conversation I would have. That's all
Ah.
I'm saying. But I'm sure people can do it.
Yeah. There's there's definitely there's some funny stories I've heard, and then there's some stories that I'm like, oh, okay, but
Mhm.
I know funny stories I heard where it was like, and this is, allegedly somebody that I used to like interact with before, they would say that there was like a man that would have like multiple wives or whatever, but the wives would
Mhm.
be on like welfare, collecting the food stamps and stuff. It was
Mhm.
weird. It was hilarious. I
Well,
was like,
but
wow.
still, that's the benefit. You have all these different funds coming from different places. If you have multiple women working on food stamps, on this, on that, you have funds coming from somewhere. There's food somewhere. There's money somewhere. It's all available and benefiting.
Yeah,
It's just
when
it's just a matter of
in a
all of them
perfect
knowing they
world.
exist.
In a perfect world, when you talk
Mhm.
about the economic standpoint of it, it totally makes sense. But
Mhm.
we have to again accept at the end of the day that we can be emotional beings and everything. So that's where the work will come. But yeah, on the financial aspect, okay, or you have to, let's just say y'all have an agreement. Okay, he's gonna take me out this night for date night, and you got trusted women to watch your kids, so that basically
Mhm.
like eliminates a babysitter fee, or
Yeah.
maybe somebody, two of the adults are working outside the house, one is working inside the house to kind of like homeschool the kids and stuff. Yeah, that's
The
and
nice
that
balance.
yeah, nice balance. That sounds so perfect.
Mhm.
But like what you mentioned, when she sounds a little hesitant about it, you
Mhm.
know, it sounds all good when she be like, "Oh yeah, she's younger than me. Yeah, she's 42. Go over there and see her. I'm 71. I can do whatever I want to do. I could save my toilet paper and stuff." So, you
Mhm.
know, financially, yeah, that it just sounds good. Especially the way how inflation is increasing now. I know I was talking with my cousin. She was like, they went up $350 on the damn rent
Mm.
to renew the
That's a
dag
lot.
rent. That is a lot. 300, gosh, man. So just imagine what a third income, you still probably like, okay, well, we'll be good. Or even a fourth income, just depending on what type of situation that you have.
Mhm.
So you know, and then let's see what else. I also remember seeing like some movies growing up when I was a little girl. So you remember the movie Down and Out Beverly Hills?
I do remember the name.
All right. So there was like just one scene in there where the neighbors, the young man that was like next door, his father was like Iranian and stuff, and he had multiple wives. So that was the first time I ever like seen something remotely like, oh, even though they didn't really get into details, but you just saw that he had all these multiple wives and everything.
Mhm.
Then there was another movie that I watched. It was a Chinese movie, so it had English subtitles, but it was called Raise the Red Lantern. So basically, but those women were considered concubines. They was all taken care of and everything, but there was still that crazy jealousy there, even though y'all all are
Yes.
able to have the time with him, or but there was just still that jealousy, and it's just
Mhm.
interesting. So I seen that in the aspect when you're dealing with like the men that have, the poly relationship, just from those movies. I haven't really got to witness it, see somebody else do it. I hear stories about it, but I would like to see for myself. But
Mhm.
the show we wanted to bring up about the seeking a brother husband, it kind of gives us more of an idea, or just seeing how that will play out, because you watched the episode, right?
Yes, I did watch the episode.
Yeah. I
Yes.
don't know if anybody else got a chance to probably see it, but it definitely was interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So, which polyamorous couples should, or trouble, I'll just say,
I was gonna ask that question. I mean, you can't say couple because it's like
should
more than
trouble?
three, more than two.
Yeah, more than two.
Trouble.
So it's not a couple. I was about to say couple, but no, it's a trouble. So, I think, all right, so I'll bring up Dustin and Kim first and then Vincent. So Dustin's very supportive of Kim. Kim has like this interesting look in her eyes when he's like talking about how he's like okay with her doing that and having multiple partners because she needs new life experiences. And she had like this like look in her eye that looked like devious, to kind of like, yeah, I got over, or I'm getting him to do what I want. It's just weird. But
Uh-huh.
then, so when the guy Vincent came in, the other guy that she's seeing, I just found it weird when Dustin hugged him. I was like, ooh, but it is what it is. But
Uh-huh.
she um she
Oh,
even
how
told
long were they
Vincent,
married?
I
I think it's like
oh
26 years they've been married.
wow, Dustin and Kim.
Yeah.
This okay, so this is the European couple with the melanated guy. So that particular couple there. What was funny with him when she
Okay.
told Vincent that he has to be prepared when she wants to be with someone else. He just had like this like just his whole world just crumbled after that. You just look in his eyes, like even though he didn't have like a lot of facial gestures or anything, but
You
you
got
could
poker
see in his
face.
eyes. Yeah, his eyes still were disappointed.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was just very, yeah. You be on the outside looking in, it's like the women are winning, but the men didn't quite seem all the way there happy.
Mm.
So
Yes. Yeah. I wouldn't either.
yeah. And then the other couple of Elise and Mike. So she cheated on him for him to say, maybe it's that, you have other relationships and date and stuff. And it was like weird because they were looking at her dating profile. I was like, wow, that I don't know if I would ever want to be in that comfort zone. But
We're sitting there looking at a dating profile of my wife.
yeah, he's like, oh, you using those pics? Like it was like he said that. It was just oh, this is crazy, man.
Sounds of
And
judgment.
right, so it seems like before, they were probably living in a one bedroom place, but then they end up moving into a second bedroom. And so what I seen from her, she's trying to see how much she could get away with him, because she said, okay, well, now that we have the second bedroom, that I can use that, to bring, my, people that I'm dating over. And he was like, no, I'm
Mm.
not comfortable with that. And well, she was like, well, what if like you're going out of town and I could just, have him in there when I want to. And he was still like, no, I'm not comfortable with that.
Mm. Mm.
So
That's right.
yeah.
Mm.
But as far as the mannerisms of these guys, right? What do you think about their mannerisms?
I find them very submissive. It's
Submissive?
exactly. I find like those guys are exactly what men who would want those type of relationships want out of a woman, to just completely do what they want, no arguments, suggest something that is just off the wall and think I'm gonna just agree with it. And I'm sure there's plenty of women who would.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, I feel like just the submissiveness of it gives them. They look as though they are feminine in a way, but I just think because it's it's just how it looks.
Yeah.
If they're not behaving how you expect a man to behave in that situation, then they're just gonna look feminine to you. You get what I'm saying?
Oh
Not that they
yeah.
are. It's just that's how it's coming off.
And I'm
That's
big
all.
on vibes too. I like when somebody exudes like, masculine or dominant like type energy, and I don't get that from them. So I wouldn't be particularly attracted to guys like that. But
Mm-hmm.
hey, let's go ahead and grab this comment here.
Okay.
I think the communication to say like that you're not comfortable with something, or to ask about it in advance and really make sure that you're respecting both of your boundaries and doing things with consent and like moving forward with, I don't know, I guess like honesty and transparency in the way that you're not actually hiding something from your partner or partners. I mean, essentially, that is like how you have healthy communication in a relationship anyway. And I think once you're bringing in more than one person, it becomes
That's
imperative that
just
you do that
exactly.
work, because it won't work otherwise.
It's a complete necessity. They would have to keep on talking, keep on bringing up boundaries in order to have the success in that relationship. You know, and that's what I was trying to say earlier. I was saying, okay, these people who want to have these poly relationships communicate more than the people who are just in a monogamous relationship. They talk about what they want, what they're willing to do, who has what responsibilities. Okay, so let's say two of them work a job, one stays home with the kids, or they all work a job, they all put their money towards the house, towards the bills, responsibilities. They're communicating nonstop because they have to. Wow, these monogamous relationships, no one's fucking communicating. I want him to pay for everything. No, we're supposed to be 50-50. They didn't talk about these things prior to getting into the relationship, and it keeps on falling apart. While these poly relationships, they look happy AF because they're talking and they're working through it and they're communicating, and it's crazy how they can do that. But a monogamous relationship can't do that. They don't do it. They find out the last minute the guy don't want to have babies, you know, or she don't want to have his kids. Oh, well, I'm not, now that I'm married, I don't work. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, they didn't talk about these things. And I just find that very interesting.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's definitely an awesome thing, the way how they are able just to be transparent like that with each other. I think that's so important. It's even nice if, the monogamous people can do that as well. But
Mm-hmm.
I think with a lot with the monogamous people, they just go with the flow and just think things are just going to work out as they go. But I guess when you're dealing with the poly situation, that has to be like planned, especially when, let's talk about like Kenya and Carl and Tiger, them,
Oh, yeah.
right?
Okay. That couple. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So they have it all structured out. They had this plan out because Carl has
It
his
was
own
26
room.
years in the making.
Right, yeah. So he has his like own room and stuff. Talk about, yeah, I'm an introvert and all that stuff. And she basically shares the room with Tiger and everything. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, they did, and it looks like a really really nice house, well put together. So yeah, they definitely planned, and I think probably like a lot of like not I don't know what their financial situation is, but
Well,
I
they
think
mentioned that they're all entrepreneurs.
right, yeah,
I believe the ones that are actually married, they're entrepreneurs.
yeah,
Tiger, the new guy, he's the
yeah,
one that does trading and stuff like that. So he is to himself. He's in his, doing. He's always watching the stocks. But but you see what I'm talking about? Like, they all are doing their part, and all they did was communicate with each other.
yeah.
And even though she said what she said about Tiger, how sexy he was, right? And he cringed. I saw
Yeah,
him
Carl
cringe
did
when,
cringe.
yes, he
His
cringed.
eye did twinge.
Yes.
Yes,
But
so
but I feel like he knows what he's there for. Tiger knows what he's there for. Everybody knows what they're there to do. So they're just happy. They're living as best as they could, because no one's going to make somebody happy. You got to make it for yourself, I guess. You
well,
know.
I will say this. Carl did kind of bring up a nice point that's in support of Kenya. saying that women should be free with feminine expression. So,
Yeah.
nice. And at least they could be honest with each other, because she's like, she likes having multiple partners to kind of like appeal to all her aspects. And she mentions that she likes attention, and she likes being in love.
Yeah, that's always fun.
Yeah. but But also, it seems like Carl was kind of also like consoling or kind of coaching Tiger, because she also mentioned that she kind of wants to bring in a new partner as well. But if things couldn't even get any weirder, Tiger, he wants to get married to Kenya, but it doesn't appear that his mom is like supportive of that type of relationship, because he is younger than her as well. So you know,
Hmm.
I,
Do
that,
we have any clips of this one, of this group?
oh
Just
yeah,
yeah, just to give some context of how they think and how they work together.
I'm dating because yeah. Let's see, episode 1. We definitely have that. All right, here we go. In the 12th year of our marriage, Carl and I decided that I was going to have multiple partners because I had met and fallen for another guy. So I came back and reported that to Carl. So we decided to talk about it. Like, what do we do? How do we go about this? And that began a 2-year journey of Kenya and I just kind of discussing things. We just had to figure things out. So we discussed it for a number of years. I finally came into the knowledge and understanding about feminine, expression, and realized you have to allow women to be free and express themselves. And as a man, I need to support her in doing that. I met Tiger at a Halloween party. He was dressed as Tiger Woods, and he was looking hot and sexy. Well, I came out and had a dance with you, so we had a nice little romantic slow dance. It was real nice. Yes. And so I decided, I'm going to pursue this. I'm going to see where this leads to. Right. So those just go right up there, and then the green painting goes in the center. All right. I'm super multifaceted. It feels like Carl fits one part of who I am, philosophical and spiritual, and we have these deep conversations. And then the other part is like thrill-seeking, excitement, traveling, and that's who Tiger fits. But I'm both of those people in one body. So I like to have those multiple partnerships. Is it one nail for each man? So yeah, we'll just play a little bit of that, because I got about like another minute or so. But yeah,
Hmm.
like what y'all think? Let us know what you think about this, because again, like I don't know, they just
Well, I was listening to this psychiatrist who says, if you're a couple and somebody winces or rolls their eyes or anything opposite of what they heard, that it's a sign of contempt.
Mm.
And I don't think Carl is about this life. Even though he is supportive of her, I don't think he cares for it. I don't see him happy. If you, the video should be attached to the YouTube when we put it up, right? When
Oh
you
yeah, yeah,
see it,
yeah,
you'll
of
see,
course.
when you
Yeah.
see the video, you'll see a lot of eye movements that just says
Body language, his body
body
language,
language.
everything.
Yeah, that
Honestly,
just doesn't look happy with the situation.
with all three of them truples, um,
Troubles.
truples with all them truples, right? I
Mm-hmm.
can so see somebody just losing it by the 10th episode, because there's just with the eye gestures and the body language that they're like giving off,
Mm-hmm.
like I
Mm-hmm.
could just, it's just like they're like ticking time bombs, because
Yeah.
the only one that I didn't like see that had like, that had really, really good poker and didn't have like any additional microaggressions was Dustin. He's the only one. Everybody else, it was just like,
Mm-hmm.
Vincent, he had, that kind of look. Mike, Carl, Tiger, they all like had that look at one point in the episodes. So
Yeah. But like, I don't know. It could be because they're men and it's not women in this situation. I'm not sure. I haven't seen the like the opposite version with the sister wives. Like I never watched anything similar to that to compare the two.
yeah, let's go and grab this comment.
So I feel like when someone who only ever known monogamy and wanted monogamy, and then they are now in a situation where they have to switch to an open relationship because someone in the relationship is not fulfilled or satisfied. I feel like that's not the same as both people wanting a polyamorous relationship and believing that you can love like multiple people and stuff. That sounds like someone trying to hold on to their relationship even though this is no longer the relationship that they want.
It doesn't serve them. I agree. And
Yeah.
that's how they, well, in reference to what's his name, Carl,
Wow.
that's how his relationship started with his wife. They were monogamous and then they changed it, and that it's either you change with it or you're no longer in a relationship anymore. And my assumption is he just didn't want to lose her, and he just is doing everything that she wants to keep her happy and to stay in the relationship. Plus, they're business partners, so
Yeah.
it might be way more to it than just the relationship.
True indeed. True indeed. True indeed.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm sure we'll probably see some interesting developments as the episodes go on.
Mm-hmm.
Um yeah. But what I did also like that she kind of brought to Tiger's attention, because when he did mention that um about marriage and everything, she's all like, weddings are a way to unite families and stuff. And he was basically saying that his father was probably cool with it, but his mom is not. So
Mm-hmm.
that'll be interesting if they bring them on the show to kind of like just kind of get their point of view, especially like the
Mm-hmm.
mom, see what she would probably say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
I don't think a lot of people would be in agreement with anyone being in a poly relationship if they're not in it themselves. They
mm,
just think it's a bunch of woo-ha, let's,
there's a
you
bunch of
know,
singers.
yeah.
And I will say that I did like a long, 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 long time ago. I got like this crazy like this proposition. I don't want to necessarily call it a proposition, but this guy, this man, of course, he was interested in me or whatever. But the interesting thing about it, he was basically saying that, oh yeah, you could, still do whatever you want. Just make sure you come home at night and stuff. Basically I could mess around and everything. Like he gives me permission for that, but I just got to come home, at night.
Mm-hmm.
And then the moment that I don't come home, my bags will be there. And I was just like, who, gives people propositions like this? It's like, what are you planning on doing on the back end that I get to, explore my feminine expression.
Mm-hmm.
But let's
Yeah.
grab this comment right here.
So overall, like in a general context, I would say that I totally support polyamory, and being that we are communal people, like human beings are communal like creatures, I think that having multiple people in a household, whether that be intergenerational, multi-generational, what the hell is intergenerational? Anyway, you know what I meant, or
I gotcha.
having multiple partners. I think as long as the actual relationships themselves are healthy, then there's nothing inherently wrong with whatever the model looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. I mean,
And
many
that,
cultures around the world, I mean, I feel like the United States is probably one of the only countries, well, one of the few countries that aren't with the whole poly relationships. But it's like everywhere else, you could pretty much like do that. Not
mhm.
everywhere, but a good bit of, the world, that you can definitely have that type of relationship.
Well, I have an uncle who my father brought to the United States, and he was married in Nigeria, and then he came here, moved to California, got married in California. So it happens, and I don't think she was had any problem with it because she's the wife in Nigeria, and the wife in California is the wife in California, and you know he's taking care of both of them. So
So
mm.
that's definitely a rich man's relationship. You can't be out here thinking that the women that you with gonna go ahead and get food stamps and welfare and y'all gonna be all good.
Well, I'm sure those exist as well. I don't know if they
Yeah.
know they exist, but I'm sure it exists.
Yeah.
you know, but I'm sure it's benefiting him financially. Somebody's got money somewhere wherever he goes and lays his head.
Yeah, that's interesting. I don't know.
But but in reference to the agreement, the communication, it's I feel like it's gonna work if they work on it.
Yeah,
And in order to have a successful relationship, a poly relationship, you have to keep on communication and working on it in order for it to work. So
yeah,
it benefits itself only because they continue the communication.
yeah,
Once they stop, maybe then something will change. You know, when the contempt reaches its highest highs, and things start falling apart because no one wants to communicate, then maybe it'll stop. But as long as they're working at it, no matter how difficult it is, it's gonna work because they're working on it.
So let me ask you this: out of all the men, who do you think that will leave first and be like, "I'm not dealing with this no more"?
Uh, I would say Tiger. He's the only one that's not married to them,
Yeah,
and and like I said, he has family that doesn't is not in agreement with it. And if he wants to go, he can just go.
yeah.
You know. And like he said, what's he say? He's an introvert and he's in his room all the time.
Well, Carl said
So,
he's the introvert and in his room
oh,
all the time.
Carl said it. Okay,
Yeah,
so
Carl said that.
well, he's probably hiding in there because he don't want to deal with the lovey-doveyness or something like that with each other.
It's like, how do you
How
deal with
sexy
that?
is he? How sexy
Yeah.
Tiger is.
How do
When
you
you see
deal with that?
Tiger, he's not that sexy, but okay.
It's
Yeah.
like, what if they're intimate in the other room? It's like, do you hear that? Like, I don't know. They need to probably do an episode on that to see their reactions.
Mm-hmm.
I
Well,
know they won't.
I'm sure like those TV shows, those where they have the people living in the house together and stuff like that, and all they do is talk about what they heard the night before and stuff like that. So I'm sure he hears stuff
Oh
between the
man.
two. Yeah.
That's really, I don't know. Let's got this comment.
Hmm.
I would disagree with saying that, in most places in the world, you would be able to do that because really, most places are a patriarchal society where men can do that, but women don't have the right to do that. And when you're in a culture where women don't have the rights
Rights.
that men do, don't have half or even like a small fraction, and are considered second class citizens, especially, then I don't think the dynamic is quite the same as, like, I guess what you would call like maybe a utopian model for polyamory, because if you don't have the right to decide whether or not your husband gets another wife, or you maybe don't have much say in it, or worse.
You didn't even have to say.
Yeah. All right. So
That's
here's,
a good point. That's a good point.
yeah, definitely. So here are 4 countries where women can practice polyandry. Um, so that's India,
Oh yeah.
Kenya,
Uh-huh.
China, Nepal, and I could have sworn I seen somewhere earlier when I was getting notes together, Ghana as well.
Okay, but
But
Ghana, from what I understand, Ghana, there's certain places where in Ghana where you cannot walk outside of that area and have that same practice. You get what I'm
ah,
saying? So yeah, in Ghana, but like the certain communities will not accept it, you
yeah.
know, certain
But
practices.
But yeah, oh, well, let me just clarify what I probably didn't say when I was talking about practice in the world. I meant, yes,
Mhm.
I did mean polygamy that is mainly based on men, multiple women.
Mhm.
So yes, I do understand that polyandry for the women is only practiced in a few places, definitely more
Okay.
places than in the United States. So I just wanted
Okay.
to clear that up.
Mhm. I'm
But
sure that there's plenty of instances. It's probably just not, you know, it's within their group where they do it.
yeah, within
It's
that
not
group.
like it's
Yeah,
out
for
and
sure.
about. Yeah.
It's not, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Where they cannot feel bad, not necessarily bad about it, but where it's really not let's just well, it's more accepted over there.
Mm,
Like still
exactly.
people are, yeah. And definitely makes sense. So the question, could
Uh-huh.
you, I know you mentioned that, you couldn't do the poly relationship, you because you would, poke your husband in the leg or
With a
something
fork.
like that with a fork.
But no, I'm just I was speaking ahead of myself. I can do it financially because it makes sense. Outside of that, it wouldn't make sense to me because my
Right.
feelings will override everything. So, because I just yeah, I couldn't do it. I would love to try, but I, I already see me failing at that attempt. That's all I'm saying.
I already see me failing.
Yeah, that's all I'm
So
saying. I'm
does
just
that go
trying to
for
be honest.
polyandry? Polyandry
Huh?
as well?
Polyandry? I don't got the energy for that shit.
For real.
That's it. I don't have the energy for that. That yeah, yeah, I couldn't do that either. Like I said, financially is the only thing that makes sense. Other than that, I couldn't do all that. That's work. Some people got the energy. That's work with communication and talking, and it's more than one person I'm talking to, and I'm trying to break things down to two men.
Good.
I try to break things down to one man that I've been living with for 15 years, and it's a battle. I can't imagine trying to do that to two men twice. Just look, this is how I feel. I'd have to sit them both down at the same time and talk about my feelings so I don't have to repeat myself.
Yeah, that would be a good idea. Absolutely. Let's grab
Yeah.
this comment.
That is literally what I think when I hear having multiple husbands. I'm like, damn, like, yeah, who's got that kind of, Anyway, but I guess I would say that I'm open to ethical non monogamy, but I would not necessarily know if that would still be considered polyamory or somewhere in between, or maybe just somewhere under the umbrella. But that's something that I wouldn't prioritize finding in a relationship. So,
Yeah.
Yes, I can dig it. Yeah, that's a that's a lot of energy to be entertaining more than one dude. But
Oh, I was talking to my husband about it and having multiple wives, and he said the same thing. He's like, I can't be talking to you women, all these women. I can't do that. I don't got time for that. I don't got energy for that. You're fine, just you. But to have, and then everybody's different, and then you got to come at them differently, you know,
personality.
personality. Oh, she don't like to be spoken this way. This one likes to be spoken to this way. This one only likes money. You know what I mean? Like, you just, everybody's different, and that's the reason why people like monogamy, so they don't have to go through this and go all through these people. Even if you know them, you don't want to go through all that over and over and over again, you know. So I just feel like these people like to inflict this kind of pain on themselves, like Carl is an example, because he definitely looked like he's inflicting pain on himself by being in agreement with this. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
So
that body language is definitely talking.
mm-hmm.
Mouth saying one
Listen,
thing, body language saying something totally different.
correct. And I'm sure there's plenty of people who are, their mouths are saying one thing and the body language is saying something completely different because they just don't want to lose the person that they're with. I know a lot of women who just don't want to lose the person that they're with, and they just want to do and make this person happy so they don't leave them, or maybe they fear going through the dating or doing all this all over again. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I'm getting out of it. And I think, like Chelsea said, you gotta be about it in the first place. I don't think switching from one way of life to another is easy.
Yeah, that I don't. Yeah,
Yeah. So
essentially being sign up for that in the beginning.
mm-mm. You certainly didn't, especially when you've been married that long. You definitely didn't sign up for that. You got married just so you don't have to experience that, and then it happens. It must be very difficult. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I know.
So you couldn't you
Definitely
couldn't see yourself getting into that?
more polyandry. Hell no, no, I'm
No.
not. Hell,
Oh,
mm-mm. I mean, I may
okay.
joke around about it,
Uh-huh.
like if a dude try to talk to me and whatever, he'd be like, "Oh, what's your boyfriend at?" Or if he asked me if I got a boyfriend, I'd be like, "I got three." I'll play
Mm-hmm.
around like that just to, kind of like deter that, but that doesn't work because then it's like, okay, well, what role can I play? I'm like number four. I like shit. My hands is already full.
Mm-hmm.
Because even if you tell them you have a boyfriend, they'll still try to, they don't respect that either. So, and thought maybe telling them I got three boyfriends already would, deter them, but no, apparently that doesn't work either. But
No.
nah, hell
The,
no. That's too many. That that's gonna be exhausting, entertaining all those dudes, and not to mention, this will probably be talked about in another episode too. We could probably talk about that, but it's like when you swapping fluids with people, you start taking on like their mannerisms and stuff. So it's like, can you imagine that? You
maybe
with
that's what's up with them. Maybe they took on her mannerisms.
yeah, maybe, huh? Hey,
Yeah.
that's definitely a good point. Cause I know I'm freaking sensitive as heck, and I know I so no, that's not for me because I don't need other people's personalities to be influencing mine. So
Mm-hmm.
I just comment.
So I would never conflate polyamory with cheating, and I know they're not the same thing. However, we get used to the cultural societal norms, and it gets harder to think outside of that box,
Mm-hmm.
especially when if there's religion is holding it down. And just like with genders, it's very challenging for people to think that there can be multiple genders beyond male and female.
Mm-hmm.
Um, what about that whole side chick culture, kind of like baby mama culture, or the kind where people are knowingly participating in it and they're just like, put me first at the end of the day.
Well, yeah,
What
I
do you mean?
mean,
Like those? They pick a day, like that SZA song, Monday through Friday, and then I'm the weekend.
yeah.
You remember that song?
I remember, yeah, I remember, I didn't even know who the name of I used to just hear that song all the time, but I didn't know who the artist was.
Uh
But I
huh.
would hear it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
On
Because
the
that sounds
weekend.
like side chick song. That is a side chick on song, right?
I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, pretty much, yeah. Stuff been going on
Mm-hmm.
years,
Mm-hmm.
centuries. That's what they had like brothels and stuff for. And I don't know, yeah, some cultures, I know like I did remember this from yesterday, the Malay tribe in Africa. They, that's encouraged with the women to be taken. The guys are the ones that be putting on the makeup to kind of like attract the women and stuff to make them want them and stuff. So I'm like, it just depends. Yeah, it's just definitely what
They're pretty
we've
people,
been.
though.
Yeah, they're pretty happy people. They're all tall and, their skin look good and, they're
Mm-hmm.
lean and everything. And
Yeah.
they drink raw milk and drink blood and eat meat and,
Yep.
but
Very beautiful people.
yeah. Um Polygamy, yeah, I could do it for the financial aspect. I could even do it for the emotional aspect too. I I like my me time, so so it's like, oh, you don't bother me? Fine. Okay, peace.
Yeah.
Let's grab this comment. Like, I'm cool with it.
I only had a minute to make the connection, and clearly I'm moving real slow right now. So I was just trying to highlight that maybe if we had more models for relationships to choose from and weren't just told that, monogamy is the only way to be, that maybe more people are polyamorous, and that's why they find it so hard to practice monogamy, and they, instead of going about it in a healthy way where you communicate and you agree and you set boundaries and you have like shared responsibilities and stuff, we just have like this more toxic version of it that could be healthier, if it was like, hey, this is okay.
Well, I know a couple women that's, that are definitely out with it and, they definitely believe in like polyamory and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think, people
I
definitely need
I
to,
completely agree. I think
yeah,
if it was seen more, people would be more comfortable with it and realize that that's the life that they want to live, instead of forcing themselves into relationships they can't hold because they're miserable and they want to, be happy and be with two separate people who you know appreciate the two sides of them.
yeah.
Like the way that the lady explained it. Because I was like, oh, that would be nice if you can find somebody who likes to play Sims with me, as well as also watching Terminator movies. You know what I mean? Like, I have two different guys who like those two different things, and I have somebody to talk to about it. It would be nice.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I understand. I think if it was normal, if it was something that people saw more often, maybe it would make sense.
Yeah,
But we
so with
definitely
it is
got
good that
this.
Lifetime is push not Lifetime, TLC, they're pushing, putting it out
Well,
there so people can see.
it's the learning channel, so that people are learning about these new type of relationships that maybe opening the eyes to people who probably didn't know that it even existed. So when they see it, they're not like staring and passing judgment. They actually understand where somebody's coming from
Yeah.
when they witness it. You know.
Yeah,
That's all.
absolutely.
Yeah. But then, then you got people like the governor of Florida, who doesn't want anybody to see certain things because then it would make people learn more and come to their own conclusions about things. So we're just gonna hide it. So that's all I
Yeah.
gotta say about that. So there's always somebody who doesn't want you to know and don't want you to learn, and then you just have to figure things out on your own. So
Yeah.
yeah.
But
So
I
kudos to
definitely,
TLC.
yeah, definitely kudos to TLC. I'll definitely say, just as far as the stuff that we went over, definitely good. The benefits are definitely, the financial aspect, but definitely most importantly, this just the communication, the openness. I think that's a really, really good aspect of
Yeah.
any of poly relationships. So
Yeah,
if
clearly there's an emotional aspect too because she's happy. Supposedly they're happy too. And
I
she
don't
has people
know.
who understand her. Um and if there was more people who are more understanding of people's feelings and wants and hopes and dreams, then there would be more happiness. Yeah. So,
Yeah. So yeah. She's definitely happy. The women definitely seem happy because
mhm.
they doing what they want. But I'm just not feeling that from the guys.
And how often does that happen? So,
Not often at all. Because
no.
I could just hear my face. A lot of my Facebook friends, guy friends. They don't. I'm not sure if they know about the episode, but I could just or the show. I could definitely hear them saying, "She for the streets."
Yeah, that's basically what I think they would say too.
Absolutely, they say she for the streets. So
And definitely, yeah, definitely hear that. I would hear that. So, but she's trying to keep it between certain level of people. So clearly, she ain't for the streets, or she don't want to be for the streets. She's trying to do it healthy. Yeah, right.
yeah, I mean, they could say the same. I mean, with Jada Pinkett Smith, they would say that about her, and so well, we don't know what was going on in their whole relationship, but the plus
I'm sure
is
it's
that
much deeper than that. Yeah.
yeah, much deeper, but definitely the plus is nobody's experiencing any surprises when it comes to that. So. Definitely
Exactly.
got to respect that. You don't got to worry about, because there are some things that can happen if you're caught fucking around with, like somebody's husband or whatever. Like the
Hmm.
wife in certain states can fucking sue the side chick. So, you don't got to worry
What?
about, yeah, yeah. That's what happened to freaking Fantasia.
Fantasia sued the side chick, or she was the side chick.
She was the side chick. The freaking husband um was messing around with her, then the wife sued her, and then the husband went back to the wife. Well, she won the lawsuit and stuff. So yeah,
Mm,
like, those just some of those crazy things that can happen when you're being dishonest out there, people.
okay. I can't afford to be a side chick.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-mm. Okay. I didn't know you can get sued for that. What state was that in? Don't say
That was
Georgia.
North Carolina. That was North
Oh,
Carolina.
okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
You probably could do it in. Well, I don't know. You probably could do it in. I mean, there's probably more places you could do it. So usually when one place does it, other places follow suit.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's some real new news. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's crazy. Why
Well,
would
you
you
can sue
sue the
anybody for
side
anything.
chick?
It's just you got to prove your case.
Mm-hmm.
That's to
Sue the
prove your
side
case
chick. Yes. Mm-mm-mm. Okay.
instead of just dealing with the husband. But
Mm-hmm. Okay.
man, we definitely got into some good points today.
Yes. Don't be a side chick. That's the one I learned the most. Can't
Really?
afford it in the state of North Carolina.
Oh yeah, and
Mm-mm.
that's honestly that's where Kenya, Carl, and Tiger in there. They're in North Carolina.
Okay.
That's where
Okay.
Fantasia got sued.
Mm-mm-mm. Okay. All right.
But yeah, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Like before we fade away, Zima, where can everyone find you?
You can find me on TikTok and Instagram as Azima the Only, Azima the Only, and you can find me on YouTube and Facebook as Ozidi Wellness and Fitness. That's Ozidi Wellness and Fitness. And where can we find you, Joe?
So yes, you can find me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Camp Jogo Fit. That's KampJogofit. And also don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Wine Fine Podcast. Yeah.
Mm.
So y'all have a good night, and we'll definitely be here again next week.
Yeah,
Until
have a
then,
good night.
yeah.
I'm trying not to laugh about that
What?
lawsuit. So
The what?
that's so fucked up. Being a side chick costs money.
Shit,
All
that's
right, good
why.
night. I'm
That's why
sorry.
you don't get caught.
That's right. That's right. All right, later, guys.
Later, guys. Bye bye.